Hello everybody, welcome back to lesson 4 and it's Python for IGCSE. Now in this lesson we're going to be sticking with if statements, but we're going to be looking at if statements using boolean operators. So let's have a quick reminder of what boolean operators are. So if you remember a couple of lessons ago, we looked at these. Now there's a few boolean operators, and in unit 9 or 10 in the course I think we look at them more closely, but for coding and especially for if statements we really just need the and the or statement. Now the and statement basically says that if everything in a statement is true, the statement is true, but the or statement or the or operator says only one thing in the statement must be true for the statement to be true. Okay, now the way this basically works is if you imagine, I'll try and draw using my mouse here. If you imagine we have a path like this and kind of runs down like this, and if we have a path that looks like this, so if you imagine these are doorways, okay, doorways. Now this would be the or and this would be the and. Now if you're going to get to the end, which is here, if you're using the or, it doesn't really matter which door you take. You can use door A or you can use door B. Doesn't matter. Yeah, you're still going to get to the end no matter which you take. So you can use A or B. Now, using the and, you would have to go through door A and you would have to go through door B to get to the end there. So you would need to use both. Okay, even if there was 100 doors up here, you would need to go through every single one. And even if there was 100 doors along here, you could take any of them. It wouldn't make a difference. Now that is what the and the or mean. Okay, so let's have a look at the code. So we're going to write a really short program just to ask a user for an input, and if their number is between 10 and 20, we'll accept it, and if it is not, we will reject it. So we're going to first of all have a number. We'll have num equals int input because it's an integer input. And we can just say, please enter a number. Please enter number between 10 and 20. Close two brackets because we open two brackets. Don't forget your speech marks like I just did. And then we'll ask the if statement. If num is less than, or yeah, we just need less than, don't we? Yeah, less than 10. Yeah, no, I don't. I want greater than 10. Sorry, greater than or equal to 10. And you can see it shows up a different color. Num is less than or equal to 20. Do the following. Okay, so for this to be true, if we go back to this, all right, for this to be true, we're looking at this, aren't we? So because we have the and here, and if this is the end, if this is the true part of the statement, for this to be true, we need to have both of these to go through. All right, it's not giving us an option where we can just have one of them because we're using the and statement. So we'll go, if the number is greater than, if the number is greater than and equal to 10, and the number is less than or equal to 20. That gives us a range between 10 and 20 inclusive. We can say print, Let's go. Num is within the correct range. Dang it, I forgot my speech mark. I'm getting speech marks all over today. There you go. Now, we can use our else and then just say print num, did it again, print num is not within range. Okay, so let's have a quick run and see, make sure it works. So we have our code running here, and let's put it side by side with the shell, and it says please enter a number between 10 and 20. So if I write 3, it should say 3 is not within range. If I write 66, it should say number's not within range. Then let's try and run it again, and this time I will put it within the right range. 14. And there you go, 14 is within the correct range. And I can try it again with a different one. Let's say, I don't know, 17, and it will say again within the correct range. So this is what boolean operators can do for our code. If we didn't have this, we would have to go along the lines of writing a nested if statement like we did last lesson. And nested if statements are needed sometimes if you need to ask if one question leads to another question. And we would have to do that here, and our code would end up a lot longer. It would end up at least 3 or 4 lines longer. And if that was a big program and every if statement that you needed a boolean with was a nested if statement instead, it would add a big chunk to your code and it would take up more memory and it wouldn't be as efficient. So this helps our code to be more efficient and have less lines. Okay, I'll leave that there. And now we've done them, please have a go at the exercises. And if you've got any problems, you can always drop me an email.